Welcome back to Conscious Evolution. I'm your host, AJ. I just wanted to do a quick update and kind of let everybody know where I'm at. It's been an interesting couple days. I've recently been introduced to a different realm or dimension of beings, like elementals, nature beings, things I had no idea really existed until about 3 days ago. And it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. I've been learning a lot, and I'm fascinated by it. I don't think there's enough people talking about this. I looked up on YouTube. There's a lot. There's really nothing current. There's something at least a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So there's not a whole lot of information out there. And it seems like such folklore, such mythology or mysticism that it's kind of out there. Like, I have heard about things like people talking about fairies and dragons and such, and it never really resonated with me. But I didn't judge, and I didn't say you're crazy because you see those things or you think those things. Like, I believe the truth is way stranger than fiction, and that's generally been proven to be true in my experience. So I, approach everything with an open mind. So I've been introduced to this realm, this dimension, these beings that I don't even really know what they do. I just know that they're there, and I've seen pictures of them, and apparently it's a real honor for them to allow you to see them. And I didn't know that when I first saw them, and they sent the pictures, and the way the pictures were taken and adjusted. I don't want to say adjusted. They were in different filters, so like IR filters, or like infrared and different light spectrums that you could see. And because they're like blended in with the woods and the forest, so it's hard to see them. And these pictures to me were like, okay, well, that's real now. Okay. So, like, what do you do with that? So, like I said, they are allowing me to become a part of this, or be witness to this, or be attuned to their frequency, to their energy, to their dimension. And this attunement's been going on for the last 2, maybe 3 days, and it all started with me wanting to get grounded, I think, is how it started. It actually started with a subscriber that has been in communication with these beings for years, but they're very like secretive. They don't want the masses to know about them, because for whatever reason. So if like they want people to know about them, but they don't want you showing pictures to people that aren't ready for it. It's like introducing someone to the spirit realm that's not ready for it. It'll freak you out. You got to be at a certain place. You got to get rid of all that fear in your life before you can be open and accepting to that. You can't be in your fear consciousness and see these beautiful things and not, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like BoneZee, he's a great example. He was introduced to that spirit world really fast, and he had experiences that scared him, and he's still a little uneasy with the experience now. He doesn't really enjoy it. Now, with me, I had many experiences in a very short period of time that were like very, very intense, and it was all in love. It was all in raising my vibration and healing me and helping me on my path, and it didn't scare me at all. Like, it was really intense. I have a couple of videos about it prior to where I was like waking up and my chest was like vibrating and fluttering, and like, oh man, it was crazy. But it never really scared me. because I think I have opened my heart to such a degree that it didn't really bother me. So anyways, I am now being attuned to this new frequency, which is amazing because, you know, I was just attuned to this whole reconnective healing frequencies, and I'm really in love with that, and I want to do this work all the time. But I just feel like I should share, you know, I feel like I should share this story. So it all started the other day. I wanted to get grounded. I went outside and was going to plant my feet in the ground. You know, you can do meditations, but I like to be in nature. I like to have my feet in the ground, and I really do enjoy nature. You know, I went for a walk out the other day. I did a video. I went out for a walk in the woods, and I recorded a lot of footage, but I'm going to do it again and use it for a different purpose, not necessarily for a video. But, so I stood outside, and I was going to put my feet in the dirt, but there's a lot of spiders out here in the woods. So I went to put my feet in the dirt, and I saw like a big ass wolf spider coming out of the ground. Like, ah! So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So there's a tree stump there. And if you've ever heard of Kirlian photography, they can photograph the energy signature of whatever it is. In this instance, they were using a leaf from a tree. So they took the Kirlian photography of the leaf, the whole leaf, and you can see the energy signature around the leaf. Then they cut the leaf in half and took the picture again. The energy signature was the same. It was still whole, but the physical leaf was cut in half. But the energy of that leaf was still whole. One whole piece. So just because something's not there in the physical doesn't mean that the energetic signature, that consciousness, isn't still there. So there's a tree stump out front here, and I started thinking about this Kirlian photography of like, okay, so the tree's been cut down for years. Doesn't mean that that tree essence, that being, that consciousness isn't still there. So I took my shoes off and I stood on the stump and started talking to the Gaia, to the tree, and honoring the tree. And wow, like the energy I felt was so intense. Like when I put my feet in the earth and, you know, talk to Gaia, I get a rush of energy, and it's really intense, and I like it a lot. So that's why I do it a lot. I don't get that same feeling in meditation all the time unless I get to like a really deep state of mind, I guess you could say. I can't think of the terminology, but when I stood on this tree stump, it was like 10 times more intense than when I planted my feet in the ground. The energy, like as soon as I was like, you know, hello, Gaia, tree, whatever I said, I don't remember. It was just like, boom! And I was like, whoa! It was like a freaking adrenaline rush. I couldn't believe it. And it kept going and going, and I just like stood there basking in it. And the whole while thinking that this tree was a big tree, I'm standing in the energetic signature of the tree. So it was like almost like stepping into a vortex is how I was picturing it, you know, like a cylinder of light that was there, and I was stepping into it, and it was a very powerful experience. So then the next day, one of my subscribers who I've been talking to and did healing sessions with sends me some pictures of some elementals or nature beings or whatever they are. Blew my mind. And I told her about the tree stump, and she was like, wow, like she was like so proud that I had done that, and she's so happy that they gave her permission to share these things with me. And like I didn't even realize it at first how much of an honor this is to be accepted, because they look at your thoughts, they look at your heart, your pure intention, who you truly are. You can't hide that from them. And they said it's okay. So I've had some interesting experiences with that. And the subscriber said that I'm now being attuned to these frequencies, and, you know, will basically, for the purposes of being able to see them, having 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the spirit realm, which I feel like I've kind of already started, especially with the reconnection and all the healing sessions or healing frequencies I've been a part of and facilitated. I feel like that opens the door to that whole other realm which it kind of does, but that's my interpretation of it. There's others. It reconnects you with your higher self, I think, and that's on the other side of the veil. So I want to do a show with this tomorrow with BoneZee, Behind the Veil episode, talking about these and my experiences a little more in depth. But I just kind of wanted to share that and get a gauge what you guys think. Have you guys heard of elementals before? Because this is very new to me, like 3 days ago. And I spend a couple hours a day looking on YouTube and trying to see if there's what's out there as far as information. And there's some pretty good stuff. But there's not many people talking about it, and they all seem to be females. And like in Scotland or Ireland, or there's places that accept these things a little more with their history, not just demonized like they did it here in this country. They turned it into witchcraft, and I don't want to get into that dark story, but I think you know where that's heading and what happened to people that would talk about these things or that were in communications with the spirit realm back in those days. So they demonize everything, and it's it's folklore. And I'm sure a lot of people will have something to say about that, but it's all good. I love you anyways. I just wanted to share my experience and see what people think. You think I'm crazy? It's okay if you do. I thought I was crazy at one point too, but I have since realized that's not the case, and I'm very much onto something here, and I'm very much on my path, and I'm very much enjoying it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I love each and every one of you. Be the change that you want to see in this world, and yeah, bye-bye.